Drop.
Wanna know the best decks in the format? Better listen up cause you will get that. Not everything can fit into one deck. You're about to learn a lot, it's a fact. Yo, at first I thought the Decidueye was bad. You know what the force being bad, but nothing more. It's true, we got a plan with Alolan Ninetales in the hand. There we go, true, we got Metagross, Greninja, and Golisopod too. And a lot more decks that are on the list, like Tapu, Bulu, that can totally screw you. Now let's take it a step further with Garbodor, with straight murder, trash challenging everybody, and the Berserker. Drampa GX is a total prize earner. How can we forget about the leading Gardevoir? I don't need to tell you what the cards really are. One of the best decks ready for war. It goes after you like a very fast car. And if you want some fire, try out Volcanion, you won't get tired of the consistency that takes you higher at tournaments. It's definitely something I desire. Who's ready to see the best decks in the standard format? I am. Let's go. What's up YouTube, it's Zapdos TCG here and welcome to episode 146 on my channel, where I'm gonna talk about the best decks in the standard format, each and every one of them, and also gonna give a deck list for them. I actually divided them by 3 tiers. We have tier 3 decks, tier 2 decks, and of course the best out of the bunch, the tier 1 decks. If your opinion about a tier is different, or if you have a deck that I have not listed in this video, definitely put it in the comment section below. Let's get a discussion started and let me know what you think. So we're gonna start with tier 3 decks. Tier 3 decks are some of those decks that actually saw some top cuts and certain tournaments, but not significant amount of results to make it to tier 2. The first one on the list for a tier 3 deck is this one, Solgaleo, with of course Rayquaza from Guardians Rising. One of these decks actually made up at a top 32 and a huge regionals, but it did not see so many listings so far, so I've decided to put it as a tier 3 deck. The reasoning behind this deck is of course Sun Steel Strike. You want to have that every single turn. Actually between turns we have Soul Burst, getting a lot of energies from your deck straight into your Pokemon. Then you strike with Sun Steel Strike, and then a turn after that you get the energies back with Turbo Storm of Rayquaza. That is how the deck functions. You strike with Solgaleo GX, hopefully to get 2 prize cards, and then your partner here, Rayquaza, will get the energies back, so you can then hit again, once again the next turn with Sun Steel Strike. That's the main strategy. There's also a Xerneas here because you do not want to get devolved. I know Sylveon EX has been seen in a lot of decks lately, and you don't want to get devolved. Hala is one of those cards I love in this deck, and I'm actually gonna not talk about the decks in detail so much, but just the main strategy. So in this particular deck, you just want to hit as hard as you can, Guzma out the Pokemon, GXs and EXs, just to get 2 prize cards every single turn with that huge attack of 230 damage. Yeah, this is also gonna be a huge video, so it's gonna be a long one, and you'll also get the deck list in this video, so take a screenshot and just start making this deck yourself. So this is the first tier 3 deck. We are moving on here. What else is actually determined as a tier 3 deck? Well, let me just check it out. I'm actually gonna go here. Yeah, we have Shining Genesect. Shining Genesect is one of those new decks came out of Shining Legends, and it actually is with Venusaur, the Jungle Totem. Each grass energy provides 2 grass energies instead. So if you can get Venusaur out, Shining Genesect can actually deal a lot of damage with Gaia Blaster, and I actually made a TCG Online video about this match as well, actually about this deck. Definitely check that out if you want to see it in action. Pretty good. Also, we see Rayquaza popping up here because for a single grass energy you can use Turbo Storm and just get the energies back. Tapu Bulu, also a really great Pokemon just to abuse those 2 attachments, and then bam, Nature's Judgment or Tapu Wilderness GX. The main strategy is using Bridget, or actually Tapu-related Bridget on the first turn, getting yourself some Bulbasaur in play, together with Shining Genesect, attaching energy to anything you want, because it has the ability Energy Reload to get energies to it. So even if you attach it to a Bulbasaur, you can just get it back with the ability. So that's just so awesome. And then next turn you get out your Venusaur and just obliterate people with Shining Genesect or Tapu Bulu, depending on which you got out first. Max Elixir is in here, and Fighting Fury Belt just to get up the HP of our basics like Tapu Bulu and of course Shining Genesect, making it a 170 HP monster. So that is another one of those decks. It's a tier 3 deck as of yet. I've seen not many people using it so far. It could be better, maybe a tier 2 deck. So definitely check out Shining Genesect. Moving on, we still have tier 3 decks. Here is Xerneas Rainbow Road, and I'm actually gonna give some more lists. I actually think about 18 decks, but the video title says 15 because that's just a better number for the sake of it. We have Xerneas Break here. Really simple strategy. It has the Rainbow Force dealing 10 damage plus 30 more for each different type of Pokemon on your bench. That way we are running a lot of dual types. We have Bisharp, which can actually deal a lot of damage to Gardevoir GXs. We have Galvantula, Lightning and Grass, and then we also have Volcanion, Water and Fire. So in a deck like this, it's pretty straightforward. Using Bridget, of course, you want to use Bridget thanks to a Tapu Lele or something, and then striking your bench with some Joltics and Pawniards. The next turn after that, you evolve everything, and then out of nowhere, Xerneas can use that Rainbow Force for a bazillion damage. There's a split between Choice Band and Fighting Fury Belt. If you prefer Fighting Fury Belt, definitely go for that, but Choice Band gets you the numbers every single time. So this is another tier 3 deck. If you can play this, sometimes you brick and it's over, but if you can get everything out, your entire bench, then you are hitting a huge amount of numbers. So this is another tier 3 deck. Definitely a lot of fun. I already made an episode about Xerneas Rainbow Road as well. I don't think we have still some tier 3 decks left. I think all the rest of them is actually a tier 2 decks, which is interesting to see. Let's see here, what is the next deck I'm gonna feature. So we have tier 2 decks. The first one on the list is Decidueye Ninetales. Decidueye Ninetales, what can I say about that one? Decidueye dropped out of the map with that loss of that Forest of Giant Plants, but it strike back with that Alolan Ninetales. The main strategy, still simple, Bridget. Definitely, there are 2 copies of Bridget in this deck. You want to get your Rowlets out as quickly as possible, because next turn, you want to use Rare Candy and get your Decidueyes out. Decidueye has the ability Feather Arrow. Once during your turn, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. You can do that every single turn, and for every Decidueye this deck. So let's say you have 3 Decidueyes out, you can snipe for every single one of them. And then later on the line, we have Sylveon EX devolving everything with Miraculous Shine. I know there's a lot of special energies in this deck actually, and we also have Special Charge. Maybe you can add it up to maybe add Grass energies, but I do think the Rainbow energy does help for Luminous Barrier, Aurora Beam, Ninetales, and also for this one. Sometimes you have that the option of using Blizzard Edge out of nowhere. Awesome. So, main strategy, sniping the hell out of everyone with Decidueye, then using Flying Flip a couple of times with Tapu Koko, and then of course you devolve everything once they have enough HP remaining, and then you devolve them with Espeon, bam, getting all your prizes like that. This one also helps out Ice Blade dealing 50 damage, and we also have those Alolan Vulpix, those pretty cute ones that gets everything from the deck. With Beacon you can get your Decidueyes out in no time. So this is another one of those decks, it's a tier 2 deck. Interesting. Alright, what is next? We have we have Golisopod Zoroark. Golisopod Zoroark. This is a tier 2 deck, could be a tier 1 deck, but I have not seen that many results with Zoroark so far. It could be between tier 1 deck and tier 2 deck, you decide that. Anyhow, we have this awesome card, Golisopod. For a single energy, first impression, deals a maximum of 120 damage if Golisopod was on your bench and was put in the active position. We have cards like Latios. Latios from Shining Legends is just so awesome. Why is that? You do 30 to one of the opponent's bench and 30 to the active. Why is Latios good? Well, because Buzzwole is around, which you'll see later down in the video. Buzzwole is weak to Psychic. With a Choice Band, you'll actually able to hit 60 damage, and that is 120 damage on Buzzwole, so that's definitely great. Also, Tapu Koko is just great with the free retreat, and then of course, the Zoroark with Stand-In is where it shines. You use that with Floatstone or something like that, and you can get first impression that condition turn after turn. Combine that with a couple of Acerola, and you got yourself an unstoppable killing machine for a single energy. Here our awesome little friend Golisopod GX. So first impression, getting that condition going on is not that hard. Zoroark GX is in here for consistency purposes. We do have 3 Tapu Lele in the deck, but that ability trait is just so good. And also we have DCE in the deck. Why not abuse it and start hitting some things with Righteous Beating? Yeah, this is the deck. Also, Professor Kukui could be great if you combine that with Choice Band. Zoroark GX is able to deal 170 damage as a maximum if your bench is entirely full. Definitely great to knock out Tapu Leles for a single attachment. Awesome, right? Okay, moving on to some more decks. All these decks, you can just take print screens while you're watching the YouTube video at full screen, and then you can get all the cards from the deck. We have Ho-Oh Salazzle, another tier 2 deck. Could be a tier 1 deck, but sometimes you don't always have that first turn Kiawe. the thing about this deck is just really simple. You have your Ho-Oh GX that is weak to lightning. You have your Turtonator GX that is weak to water. So you have some synergy here. If you're afraid of, if you're up to a water matchup, just get yourself Ho-Oh, but Ho-Oh is your main guy here. You use Kiawe on the first turn, get 4 energies onto Ho-Oh GX, and then next turn, you can use, 180 damage Phoenix Burn. Definitely great. With Choice Band, that's 210 damage. Everything will get knocked out, and even if you want to go overboard, we have Volcanion with Steam Up. Just discard one of your energies and you're suddenly dealing a lot of damage, like 240 I believe, if you have Choice Band and 1 Steam Up. So knocking out Gardevoir GX is not that hard. You might seem vulnerable with 4 energies attached, but just saying, if this deck starts first with 3 Tapu Lele, 4 Ultra Ball, and 3 Kiawe, you definitely have your start that you want. Also 2 Floatstones in here and some Guzmas, actually 4 Guzmas, because sometimes you might just get stuck in the active position. Then, after all that is done, we have Salazzle coming in like a diabolical beast here, dealing 50 damage for each prize card you have already taken. Now with Ho-Oh taking some early game prizes, and then comes Salazzle out of nowhere, Diabolical Claws, and bam, getting yourself the last prize card. So it works just like that, and we also have one of those Volcanion just for the prize race. If one of your Volcanions gets knocked out, it does not even matter. And also we want to have an answer to the Alolan Ninetales with a Luminous Barrier, so one Volcanion is in here. Okay, that was a mouthful. Really fun deck to play. I see a lot of friends playing that, so definitely check it out if you are interested in some firepower. Next up, a Tier 2 deck, Metagross. Some people think this is a Tier 1 deck. What makes you think that? Well, a lot of fire is in the format, and it does have a terrible matchup against Greninja as well. And that's pretty much it. It does have a great matchup against Gardevoir, but this a little bit dropped off the map and will be replaced soon with Solgaleo, which is also a metal type, which does it way better. So, Tier 2 deck, Metagross GX. We run a 4-3-4 line, a thick line of Metagross, getting 2 of those out as a minimum to use Geotech system turn after turn, and just manually retreating and using Gaia Hammer. Again, this deck relies on Bridget. There are 2 copies in here. Just for consistency purposes, you want to have that in the opening hand. Even with 3 Tapu Lele, sometimes you don't have the Bridget, but sometimes you have it in your opening hand and bam, you can go straight from the bat. Okay, you start off, have some Beldums in play, retreat into Alolan Vulpix, use Beacon, get yourself Metagrosses in play, and off you go. We have Gaia Hammer, which you can deal with Choice Band, 180 damage, just the perfect number. Then you manually retreat into another Metagross, heal off all the damage with Max Potion, and the deck circles around Metagrosses just like that. There's a Necrozma in here. Drampa will not even be able to touch this guy if Garbodor is not equipped with a Float Stone. So Light's End, definitely a great ability, and also it has the attack Prismatic Burst, dealing 10 damage plus 60 more for each Psychic Energy. There are Psychic Energies in there, 3 of them. You can add more into the deck, but I think this is the perfect number. You don't always want to attack with the attack of Necrozma. Necrozma also great against things like Espeon GX and Buzzwole GX, which is something we'll talk about later. Also, Blackberry GX dealing 100 damage to every EX and GX on the opponent's side of the field is nothing to laugh at. And then we have Mimikyu. Thanks to Geotech system, this is just easy to equip the energies onto it, and Copycat can copy the opponent's attack that they used last turn, and unless it's a GX move. But sometimes you have that Tapu Bulu GX using Nature's Judgment, while you can just copycat that, bam, with Mimikyu. Awesome. It's a fun time with this deck, and you just have to be afraid of fire. Fire is your main weakness, of course. Alright guys, we are moving on. Still Tier 2 decks, we have Silvally. Silvally is one of those decks that still has to prove himself worthy. In the upcoming sets, we are gonna get some more memory cards, which are the tool cards you can slap onto Silvally GX to turn it into a different type. Right now we have 1 Psychic Memory and 2 Fighting Memories. Why are we promoting so many Fighting Memories instead of just running a split line between 2-2? Well, I think Fighting is more important. Fighting gets rid of Zoroark GX, Drampa GX, and a lot more Pokemon that are popular. So Fighting Memory, Psychic Memory also definitely great if you're afraid of something like a Buzzwole or something. Maybe you can add it up to like saying 2-2 line, but I think this is a little bit consistent. We also have Parallel City, just love it in the deck like this, just limiting the opponent's bench side, and also we can reduce the damage from fire types, grass types, and water types. That way Silvally lives on turn after turn, maybe using Acerola, and you can just circle around. Registeel is also an MVP in this deck, using for single energy 30 damage, and then attach a basic energy from the discard to one of your bench Pokemon, just like Yveltal did way before him. Okay, what is the strategy of this deck? We are of course relying on Bridget, slapping on a branch full with type nulls and maybe an Oranguru or Drampa depending on the matchup. Registeel also great to start with. Let's say you start with Registeel. Well, if you evolve into Silvally, all of your basic Pokemon have free retreat costs. So things like Latios, which has 1 retreat cost, well, now it has free retreat cost. Same here with Magearna. No, devolution shenanigans with Espeon EX. We have Magearna out. If we have a Metal Energy onto our Pokemon, things will be going great. Okay, what else is there to talk about? We have Silvally dealing the Turbo Drive 120 damage, and you can attach a basic energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. The same like Registeel, and Rebel GX is just the copycat of Lycanroc GX, dealing 50 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Really powerful attack in a meta game where everybody relies on a first turn Bridget, so definitely be careful of Silvally GX because it will become better in the near future. Also, we are running 1 Evo Soda just to have that consistent Silvally because sometimes those things with 3 retreat costs might get stuck in the active position. We do run 3 Guzmas, so getting out of the active position is always possible with that. And the main strategy is of course 2-shotting with Silvally GX or using Skyla, getting your memory of choice to get to 1-shot. So a deck like this, definitely check it out. It's still fresh and new, that's why it's still tier 2 deck. Okay, some more tier 2 decks. We have one of my favorites, Tapu Bulu Vikavolt. This could be a tier 1 deck, but sometimes it's, I think it's still tier 2 deck. We have Tapu Bulu here, of course. We know him well. Horn attack 30 damage, and his second and third attack is where it shines. 120 damage, and you may discard all energies attached to Tapu Bulu and deal 180 damage instead. Really powerful. With Choice Band 210, perfect number. Tapu Wilderness GX deals 150 damage, and you can heal off all the damage of Tapu Bulu. Awesome. We have 1 Tapu Koko GX in here just for the Gardevoir matchup. If Gardevoir stacks a lot of energies onto their field, bam, Tapu Thunder GX gets rid of that. Also, Arrow Trail is another way of switching around if you might get stuck with your Vikavolt. And Vikavolt is the main heart of the deck. It pumps energies from the deck onto our powerful Pokemon. We have the ability Strong Charge. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Grass and a Lightning energy and then attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Awesome! I love the ability so much. Attaching energies is has never been so much fun. Just straight from the deck onto Tapu Bulu, onto Tapu Koko, maybe a Tapu Lele. It's all possible, but another one of my favorites is Mew. Mew can use all the attacks of any of your basic Pokemon in play, which means you can just use the attacks like Nature's Judgment on a Mew, a 1-price attacker, and it also has free retreat, so definitely include it in a list like this. Hits hard against Buzzwole, hits hard against Espeon. Why not include it in a deck like this? Okay, next, Zoroark GX. One of those new promo GXs. Flashing Head. It prevents all damage done to it by your opponents that have special energies attached. So Gardevoir with a lot of energies, TCG attached. Oh, that's a shame. You cannot tap me anymore. It also has the Lightning GX. Your opponent reveals their hand, and then you can find 1 card there and put it as a face down prize card from the opponent. Wow, adding a prize card and robbing them of their consistency in their hand is awesome. Also, Rumbling Wires deals 100 damage, and you can discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Also interesting in the late game if they're just wanting that last card, like the last Field Blower. Well, now you cannot take that anymore. So or that last Float Stone to attach them to their Garbotoxin. Well, you can sometimes discard them with Circuitry if you have luck. If you have some luck on your side. 3 Field Blowers is a must. Garbotoxin is around. You definitely want to run 3 Field Blowers. All right. Skyla, 2 of them, and then also Hala is in a deck like this because we had that first attack with Lightning GX, and then we can make use of Hala. Hala is a little bit better than Sycamore in a deck like this. You don't want to waste all your resources. Let's say your opening hand is 2 Vikavolts. Well, sometimes you have to get rid of all of those Pokemon, so Hala is a little bit better in my opinion. So a pretty consistent deck. Oranguru helps out a ton in the late game, so definitely check out Vikavolt Tapu Bulu. Okay, we are still in top 2, tier 2 decks. Just checking some more decks here. We have Zoroark GX Drampa. We already seen a Zoroark with Drampa before, but now with the GX, thanks to Shining Legends, this deck, actually got a little bit of a boost here with trade. The consistency goes through the roof thanks to trade and the ability. We already seen it before, but now we can make use of Trickster GX because we do run Darkness energies. If we have Trickster GX, we can choose one of the opponent's Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. Even if it's on the bench, that attack, you can use it. Let's say Ho-Oh GX is on the bench. Well, we copycat that move immediately and attack the active Pokemon. So Trickster GX definitely awesome. Zoroark Break can actually do the same thing with Foul Play, but only for the active Pokemon's attacks. And Drampa is in here, thanks to Potown. Drampa with Berserk will be doing a lot of shenanigans. Also Tapu Koko is in here, Free Retreat, awesome. Enhanced Hammer, the Mallow strategy with the trade ability, definitely great if you want to search your deck for the DCEs. Use Mallow, put it on top of your deck, draw them out with Zoroark GX. And this is also a great Pokemon, of course, Mind Jack. If the opponent fills up their bench, you are punishing them with a Choice Band, will deal a lot of damage. And also has the stand-in if you might get stuck in the active position with Drampa, which sometimes you don't want. Okay, definitely a consistent deck, check it out. And we're still moving forward here. Zoroark GX with Ninetales. This is a tier 2 deck. It's really great for beginning players, plays really well. And we are running, of course, Bridget. On the first turn, using Tapu Lele, Bridget, bang, you get yourself Zoroark and some Vulpix. Vulpix also has Beacon, so you don't even need 3 Tapu Lele. That Beacon can already draw out your Zoroark GX, and that way you already have consistency going on. If you have a third Lele, be sure to include it if you have it, but it's not really necessary. That's why I didn't include it in this list. Also, one Zoroark, one prize attacker with Mind Jack. 3 Alolan Ninetales GXs, of course. The Ice Patch GX is one of the best GXs you can use in a deck like this. Putting all the damage of Ninetales on the opponent's active, bam, there you go. You heal off and you deal a lot of damage. Blizzard Edge will also be one of your best attacks thanks to Choice Band. We're running 4 copies of Choice Band. And then of course with Aqua Patch and Water Energies, you can set up this attack really quickly. Also for, what am I saying here, 4N and the late game, really great thing because you have Zoroark GX to trade off. And you are not ending yourself. And 2 Professor Kukui. You might think, why so many Professor Kukui? Well, once we have Zoroark GX out, we can try and hit for those 170 damage, of course, again, to snipe off Tapu Lilies. And also 1 Sylveon EX, because we do have sniping capabilities of Ninetales, we can abuse that. And if there's a Gardevoir with a ton of HP and we sniped it twice, we devolve it and the threat is gone. So, really consistent deck as well. All these decks are just so much fun to play with. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite deck at the moment is right now. I'd love to know it. Okay, we are moving on. I think this is the last tier 2 deck, and we are gonna move on to tier 1. Tier 1, first on the list, Buzzwole, a new deck that came out of Crimson Invasion. Buzzwole is the main attacker, dealing 30 damage to the active, 30 to the bench. Made an episode about it before, definitely check it out on the channel. We have Strong Charge, actually Strong Energy, which actually up the damage by 20, so that way you're dealing 50 to the active, 30 to the bench. With things like Kukui, you're dealing 70 to the active and 30 to the bench, and with Fighting Fury Belt, 80 on the active, 30 on the bench. You see where I'm going with this? We use Sylveon EX after we spread around all the damage, and then, we pick our prize cards like that. There's a Garbodor line in here. Why is that? Well, in the late game, we want to make use of Trashalanche. Trashalanche is one of those most powerful attacks in the entire game, dealing 20 damage for each item card in your opponent's discard pile. It adds up really quickly if you don't, take a look at your discard pile, and if you use a lot of items, you will get punished thanks to Garbodor. Also, we have Garbodor with Carbotoxin to shut off all the abilities with 4 Flow Stones. That is not a problem at all. And that way, you're limiting your opponent from using things like Zoroark GX's straight ability, Tapu Lele GX's Wonder Attack, Octillery's Abyssal Hand, Gardevoir GX's Miraculous, what was it again? You know what it is, to attach another energy. You know that ability of Gardevoir GX. I just have the Secret Spring, yeah, that's the one. So all these abilities are shut down while you just snipe around like a mad crazy Buzzwole, and then you devolve everyone with Espeon. That's how the deck functions. You can actually promote 3 Fighting Fury Belts in here instead of split between 2 Fighting Fury Belts and a Choice Band, but the choice is up to you. Potown is also your best friend in a matchup like this, because 30-30 and Potown makes it so if they evolve 60-60, and then it's just way better, because everybody has a 60 HP basic, Rowlet, Beldum, Ralts, Alolan Vulpix, Zoroark. I could keep going, but you don't have all day, right? So Acerola, also really great. Your huge HP Pokemon, once they are almost knocked out, use Acerola and put another one in the active position. Boom! They keep coming back. So a really powerful deck. I do believe this is a tier 1 deck. Some people think it's overhyped, but as you see, this deck has been winning a lot of matches and will prove itself worthy in London. I will go to London if you are, haven't noticed already. I'm looking forward to that a lot, so that's why. But also partially the reason I made this video. Next up, Garbodor, Drampa, hello. If you have been sleeping the past few months, I have not heard about Garbodor Drampa. Well, this is one of the most popular decks ever. This deck has been so popular since the release of Guardians Rising, you have no idea. yeah, it has been around for quite a while, and it's still doing great. Why is that? We use Drampa. Drampa has the big wheel, makes for consistency, drawing cards of 10 cards in the hand, and then you can do everything you might have won. But first, we use a Bridget, of course. Bridget first turn, slapping some Trubbish on the bench, maybe a Tapu Koko if you want for your treat or something, and yeah, we go from there. Next turn, we evolve everything, we shut down the abilities, we have a Trash Lancer at our disposal, and thanks to Potown, our Pokemon get damaged, and Drampa has the power of Berserk. With a Choice Band, we deal 180, I believe. Yeah, that's 180 damage, and that is just a perfect number. Knocking out Tapu Bulus, knocking out Tapu Lilies, knocking out whatever the hell you feel like it. Unless, yeah, you might have some trouble with 210 HP Pokemon, but if Potown does its trick, like there are 4 copies in here, if Potown does its trick well, they are already having 3 damage counters on them. So a really, really great deck, and Trash Lancer, of course, for a late game sweep. There's also 1 Latios in here. Drampa is weak to fighting. You want to get rid of Buzzwole quite easily with this Latios, two-shotting them with a single DCE. Awesome. What else is there to talk about? There's 1 single copy of Rainbow Energy in here. You might add some more, but in a format where Enhanced Hammer, Kartana, and all those stuff is around, I only think 1 Rainbow Energy is sufficient. We have Potown to get the damage required for Berserk, so also that Rainbow Energy can sometimes come in handy, but not always. So this is a deck with 4 Floatstone, of course Recovery with Rescue Stretcher and Super Rod, and just Garbodor. It's Garbodor, man. What more can I say about it? Okay, we're still in tier 2, tier number 1. Another huge winning deck that a lot of people saw success with is Gardevoir GX. Gardevoir GX, if you have not heard about it before, 230 HP Pokemon, Secret Spring makes it so you can attach a Fairy Energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and that's this stacks. If you have 3 Gardevoir GXs out, you can use it 3 times, and you can also have that manual attachment of the turn, like a DCE, and then attaching 3 Fairy Energies. It's crazy like that. Twilight GX makes it so Garbodor will not be doing a lot. Late game, you just shuffle 10 cards from your discard pile into your deck, and out of nowhere, yeah, those Garbodors will not be doing anything anymore. Infinite Force is where the card shines best in. 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. It's like Mewtwo EX, but bazillion times better. It's back in the days. Yeah. We attach energy thanks to the ability, attach a Choice Band, and we're already dealing 120 damage, or actually 90 with the Choice Band, 120 damage. If somebody has an energy, or maybe 2, they're dead. So that's how good it is. For consistency purposes, we're running one line of Octillery. If Octillery or Remoraid is priced, it's not even that worrisome. We also have Sylveon. I can imagine that both of these lines will be priced. So Sylveon is great. Magical Ribbon, getting 3 cards from your deck straight into the hand. And also Plead GX, amazing, and things like Metagross matchups and Greninja matchups. So Plead GX will also be one of those attacks you will be using frequently. And Parallel City, another one of those cards I want to talk about here, reduces the damage of grass types, fire types, water types. A lot of things in the meta have those types, and also can limit the bench space of the opponent, which can be quite annoying. 1 copy of Parallel City. I do think this is one of the more recent lists of one of the champions, I believe. So definitely test the list out. So consistent. Sylveon is your best friend. Octillery will be drawing cards in the late game if you get End, but nevertheless, Gardevoir GX, such a powerhouse, destroying everything in its sight. It's weak to metal, but yeah, everybody has to have a weakness, and Gardevoir has one. If you're not facing metal, you're gonna have a great time with Gardevoir GX. Still in the top tier number 1, we have Golisopod Garbodor. Yeah, if you have watched the World's Finals, we saw that Gardevoir was facing Golisopod, so of course Golisopod is still a tier 1 deck. And what does it do best? Of course, I talked about Golisopod before with Zoroark, but in a situation like this, we have Garbodor by his side, we shut down the abilities, we strike for a single energy, and yeah, we use Acerola turn after turn, two-shotting everything in our path while blocking all the abilities. That's how it goes. Late game, if they use a lot of resources just to knock out Golisopod, we use the Trash Lancer and win ourselves the game. Pretty straightforward list. There are a lot of special energies in this deck, so maybe include a special charge if you're afraid of a lot of hammers or other shenanigans that might appear at a tournament. Bridget, of course. What you do with this deck, you use the first turn Bridget to get yourself 2 Wimpod and a Tapu Koko. Unless you already have, if you already have a Trubbish. Otherwise, you can just, let's say you start with Wimpod. Wimpod has this Wimpod has free retreat on the first turn. Then use Bridget, getting out your another Wimpod, Tapu Koko, and Trubbish. And retreat to Tapu Koko, and you go from there. Next turn you evolve and just strike turn after turn, two-shotting. Golisopod, however, can one-shot with Crossing Cut GX together with a Choice Band. So be careful of this list. It's a really consistent list, but sometimes when it dead draws, it's not that great, but when it gets going, wow, really great deck. Okay, we are here. I do think Greninja is still a top tier deck. You can doubt between that, but I've seen a lot of Greninjas in finals and a lot of tournaments in regionals and international tournaments. Greninja is still great. Yeah, don't listen to the people that say, wow, if you're playing Greninja, you're gonna brick at a tournament. Nothing more is true. There's always one of those Greninja lists making its way to the finals. So, in a list like this, we are having Espeon. Of course, you want to devolve huge targets like Gardevoir, Golisopod that have just way too much HP. Just devolve them when they have the HP required to get the KO. We have, of course, the 4-4-4 line of Greninja together with 3 breaks. Break, if you have not noticed already, the break can snipe. If you discard a Wonder Energy from your hand, you can snipe 60 damage anywhere on the opponent's field, and that can stack up for every Greninja. If you retreat, then you can use the ability again, because you can only use it once it's in the active position. A 1-1 line of Starmie together with Brooklet Hill, definitely have a great time getting your water energies, or actually your water Pokemon on the field. For Evo Soda, for consistency purposes, you want that second turn water duplicates, and then thanks to Brooklet Hill, Ultra Ball and Evo Soda, things are possible. What is new in a deck like this? Gladion. Look at your face down prize cards and put one of them in your hand. Let's say, oh no, I don't have Evo Soda, I don't have Ultra Ball, but oh, this is a challenge here. I have to decline here. I'm in the middle of a video. So let's say you want to have your Frogadier first turn, but you don't have the required thing. Well, sometimes you can just use Tapu Lele, Gladion, and grab your Frogadier because you know it's in there. Works out if you use first turn Brooklet Hill, you know how many Frogadiers are priced, and sometimes there are a lot of them priced and you can just grab one. Gladion, definitely test it out in a deck like this. Wally is also one of those great things. First turn you can use Tapu Lele Wally and get yourself your Frogadiers straight from the bat. That's just awesome. 3 splash energies if you get knocked out, put the entire line of Greninja or Frogadier back into the hand, and you will be having a great time. 2 choice bands, you can now add it up to 3, but I do think sniping around and devolving them is the way to go with a deck like this. And if there's a huge target in your way, Tapu Storm GX will make quick work of that, maybe ending in the late game together with a Tapu Storm, and you're back on track. Greninja, no matter what the people say, it's still a top deck. It bricks itself more oftenly than other decks, but it's still one of my favorite decks ever and will be doing great. Still a tier 1 deck. Okay, what have we not talked about before? Still tier 1 decks here. We have, of course, straight up Volcanion with Turtonator. This is one of those archetypes that will never go away. Since the release of Steam Siege, those Volcanions are like best friends. We have the Power Heater one, the Baby Volcanion, and we have this Team Up one. What you do in a deck like this, also a 1-1 line of Starmie. Starmie is getting some love in the top tier decks here. The thing you do is, you use Tapu Lele, and just if you already used everything. Sometimes you have that first turn Kiawe, that's why there's 1 Kiawe in there, and you can strike everything on a Turtonator GX. Sometimes that can help out to get your early game prizes. But if you don't have Tapu Lele in the opening game, just bench a Volcanion, use Brooklet Hill, get some Volcanion EXs in play, maybe use a Floatstone, get this guy in the active position, use a couple of Steam Ups together with Choice Band, or actually there's no Choice Band in here, just Fighting Fury Belt to up the HP, because that way they're so hard to knock down, and with that Fighting Fury Belt you up the HP to 170, you deal 30 damage as a base, you discard 2 energies thanks to Steam Up, and you're dealing 90 damage to the active, 2-shotting things while setting up your bench for future KO. So really solid list, and things are still getting some love here because a lot of people are afraid of Volcanion nowadays. It's just so consistent. It runs a lot of basics, I know that, but it's just so easy. The combo is just there. Steam Up together with the Baby Volcanion will win you a lot of matches. Starmie is there to get your energies back late game. Okay, are there more tier 1 decks? I don't think so. I think I have all of them covered in a video like this. So this was a video of half an hour. Hopefully you guys are still sticking around. Definitely yeah, have some print screens around, make your own list, and put some things you like about the list in the description below. If I forgot a list or I forgot a top deck, put it in the comment section below. I think I might forgot a few decks, but that's why I not consider them the top tier or top tier 2 decks. Anyhow, have a fantastic day. I will see you guys in London Internationals, and yeah, let me know what you're gonna play at London or at your next League Cup, League Challenge, or Regionals, or whatever tournament you're going with. Anyway, this was Zapdos TCG here. If you enjoyed the list, definitely show your support by destroying the rock smash, destroying the like button as always with a rock smash, and I will see you guys soon enough with more TCG epicness. I'm out. Peace out.